हरे कृष्णा। चैतन्य चरितामृत आदि लीला चैप्टर 17 टेक्स्ट 226। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितेन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमो विष्णु पादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते जय पताका स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमाचार्य पादाय नित्याय कृपा प्रदायिने गौरकथा दामदाय नगर ग्राम तारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवसदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। वासुदेवा परा वेदा, वासुदेवा परा मखा, वासुदेवा परा योगा, वासुदेवा परा क्रिया, वासुदेवा परम ज्ञान, वासुदेवा परा तपा, वासुदेवा परो धर्मो, वासुदेवा परागति। वसुदेवं सुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानंदं कृष्णं वंदे जगद्गुरु। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। कृष्णे स्वधामोपगति धर्मज्ञानादि भीषः कलो नष्टो दृशामेश पुराणार्को दिनोदिता। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय अद्वैता चंद्र जय गौरा भक्तवृंद। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय अद्वैता चंद्र जय गौरा भक्तवृंद। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय अद्वैता चंद्र जय गौरा भक्तवृंद। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय अद्वैता चंद्र जय गौरा भक्तवृंद। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय अद्वैता चंद्र जय गौरा भक्तवृंद। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय अद्वैता चंद्र जय गौरा भक्तवृंद। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय अद्वैता चंद्र जय गौरा भक्तवृंद। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय अद्वैता चंद्र जय गौरा भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। सभी भाई बहनों को, वैष्णव वैष्णवियों को, गोपा गोपियों को, सभी भक्त प्रियजनों को, भक्त वृंद प्रियजनों को, सभी भक्त प्रियजनों को सर्ववंद्या देवी दासी माता जी का दंडवत प्रणाम स्वीकार करें। हरे कृष्ण। This is the incident concerning the Kaji and the Lord's mercy upon him. Anyone who hears this is also freed from all offenses. One day, the two brothers, Lord Nityananda Prabhu and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, were dancing in the holy house of Srivasa Thakura. At that time, a calamity took place. Srivasa Thakura, son dead, yet Srivasa Thakura was not at all sorry. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu caused the dead son to speak about knowledge, and then the two brothers personally became the sons of Srivasa Thakura. Thereafter, the Lord charitably bestowed his benediction upon all his devotees. He gave the remains of his food to Narayani, showing her special respect. There was a tailor who was meat eater but was sewing garments for Srivasa Thakura. The Lord, being merciful to him, showed him his own form, saying, I have seen, and dancing in ecstatic love as though mad, he became a first-class Vaishnava. In ecstasy, the Lord asked Srivasa Thakura to deliver his flute, but Srivasa Thakura replied, your flute has been stolen away by the gopis. Hearing this reply, the Lord said in ecstasy, go on taking. Thus Srivasa described the transcendental mellow of the pastimes of Sri Vrindavana. In the beginning, Srivasa Thakura described the transcendental sweetness of Vrindavana's pastime. Hearing this, the Lord felt great and increasing jubilation in his heart. And thereafter the Lord again and again asked him, speak on. Thus Srivasa again and again described the pastime of Vrindavana, vividly expanding them. Srivasa Thakura extensively explained how the gopis were attracted to the forest of Vrindavana by the vibration of Krishna's flute, and how they wandered together in the forest. Srivasa Pandita narrated all the pastimes enacted during the 6 chanting seasons. He described the drinking of honey, the celebration of the rasa dance, the swimming in the Yamuna, and other such incidents. When the Lord, hearing with great pleasure said, "Go on speaking, go on speaking." Srivasa Thakura described the Rasa Leela dance with his filled with transcendental melodies. As the Lord thus requested, and Srivasa Thakura spoke, the morning appeared, and the Lord embraced Srivasa Thakura and satisfied him. Thereafter, a dramatization of Krishna's pastime was performed in the house of Sri Chandrasekhara Acharya. The Lord personally took the part of Rukmini, the foremost of Krishna's queens. The Lord sometimes took the part of goddess Durga, Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, or the chief potency Yogamaya sitting on a court. He delivered love of Godhead to all the devotees present. On one day, when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has finished his dancing, a woman, the wife of a Brahmana, came there and caught hold of his lotus feet. As she took the dust of his lotus feet again and again, the Lord became unlimitedly unhappy. Immediately he ran to the river Ganges and jumped into contract the sinful activities of that woman. Lord Nityananda and Haridasa Thakura caught him and raised him from the river. That night the Lord stayed at the house of Vijaya Acharya. In the morning the Lord took all his devotees and returned home. One day the Lord, in the ecstasy of the gopis, was sitting in his house, very morose in suppression. He was calling Gopi, Gopi. A student who came to see the Lord was astonished that the Lord was chanting Gopi, Gopi. Thus he spoke as follows: Why are you chanting the names Gopi, Gopi instead of the holy name of Lord Krishna, which is so glorious? What pious result will you achieve by such chanting? Hearing the foolish student, the Lord became greatly angry and rebuked Lord Krishna in various ways. Taking up a stick, he rose to strike the student. The student ran away in fear, and the Lord followed him, but somehow or other the devotees checked the Lord. The devotees pacified the Lord and brought him home, and the student ran away to any assembly of other students. The Brahmana student ran to a place where thousands of students were studying together. There he described the incident of them. Hearing of the incident, all the students became greatly angry and joined together in criticizing the Lord. Nimai Pandita alone has spoiled the entire country. They accused he wants to strike a caste Brahmana. He has no fear of religious principles. If he again performed such an atrocious act, certainly we shall re- retal- retaliate and strike him in turn. What kind of important person is he that he can chuck us in this way? When all the students thus resolved, criticizing Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, their intelligence was spoiled thus, although they were learned scholars. Because of this offense, the essence of knowledge was no manifested in them. But the proud student community did not become submissive. On the contrary, the student spoke of the incident anywhere and everywhere in a laughing manner. They criticized the Lord. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, being omniscient, could understand the degradation of these students. Thus he sat at home, contemplating how to risk them. All the so-called professors and scientists and their students generally follow the regulative principles of religion, fruitive activities and austerities. The Lord thought, yet at the same time they are blasphemous and religious. If I do not induce them to take to devotional service because of committing the offense of blasphemy, none of these people will be able to take to it. I have come to deliver all the fallen soul, but now just the opposite has happened. How can these roses be delivered? How may they be benefited? If these rogues offer me obeisances, the reaction of their sinful activities will be nullified. Then, if I induce them, they will take to devotional service. I must certainly deliver all these fallen souls who blaspheme me and do not offer me obeisances. I shall accept the sannyasa order of life, for thus people will offer me their obeisances, thinking of me as a member of the renounced order. Offering obeisances will relieve them of all the reaction to their offenses. Then by my grace devotional service, bhakti will awaken in their pure heart. All the unfaithful rogues of this world can be delivered by this process. There is no alternative. This is the essence of the arguments. After coming into this firm conclusion, the Lord continued to stay at home. In the meantime, Kesava Bharati came to the town of Nadia. The Lord offered him respectful obeisances and invited him to his house. After feeding him some putishly, he submitted to him his petition. Sir, you are directly Narayana. Therefore, please be merciful unto me. Deliver me from this material bondage. Kesava Bharati replied to the Lord, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Super Soul. I must do whatever you cause me to do. I am not independent of you. After saying this, Kesava Bharati, the spiritual master, went back to his village, Katwa. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went there and accepted the renounced order of life, sannyasa. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted sannyasa, three personalities were with his to perform all the necessary activities. They were Nityananda Prabhu, Chandrasekhara Acharya, and Mukunda Datta. Thus, I have summarized the incident of the Adi Leela. Srila Vrindavana Dasa Thakura has described them elaborately in his Chaitanya Bhagavata. The same Supreme Personality of Godhead who appeared as the son of Mother Yasoda has now appeared as the son of Mother Sachi, releasing four kinds of devotional activities. To taste the mellow of Srimati Radharani's loving affairs in her relationship with Krishna and to understand the reservoir of pleasure in Krishna himself, as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted the mood of Radharani. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted the mood of the gopi who accepted Brajendra Nandana Sri Krishna as their lover. It is firmly concluded that the ecstatic mood of the gopis is possible only before Krishna and no one else. He has a bluish complexion, a peacock feather on his head, a gunja garland, and the decoration of a cowherd boy. His body is curved in three places, and he holds a flute to his mouth. Lord Krishna gives up this original form and assumed another Vishnu form. Nearness to him cannot invoke the ecstatic mood of the gopis. Once Lord Sri Krishna playfully manifested himself as Narayana with for victorious hand and a very beautiful form. When the gopis saw this exalted form, however, their ecstatic feeling were crippled even. Crippled even a learned scholar therefore cannot understand the gopis' ecstatic feeling which are firmly fixed upon the original form of Lord Krishna as the son of Nanda Maharaja. The wonderful feelings of the gopis in ecstatic parama Paramarasa with Krishna constitute the greatest mystery in spiritual life. During the season of springtime, when the rasa dance was going on, suddenly Krishna disappeared from the um, essence, indicating that he wanted to be alone with Srimati Radharani. Krishna was sitting in a solitary bush waiting from Srimati Radharani to pass by. But while he was searching, the gopis arrived there like flanks of soldiers. Just see, the gopi said, seeing Krishna from a distant place. Here within a bush is Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaja. As soon as Krishna saw all the gopis, he was struck all emotion, thus he could not hide himself, and but of fear he became motionless. Krishna assumed his four-armed Narayana form and sat there. When all the gopis came, they looked at him and spoke as follows. He is not Krishna, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana. After saying this, they offered obeisances and the following respectful prayers. O Lord Narayana, we offer our respectful obeisances unto you. Kindly be merciful to us. Give us the association of Krishna and thus vanquish our lamentation. After saying this and offering obeisances, all the gopis disappeared. Then Srimati Radharani came and appeared before Lord Krishna. When Lord Krishna saw Radharani, he wanted to maintain the four-arm form to joke with her. In front of Srimati Radharani, Sri Krishna had to hide the two extra arms. He tried him best to keep four arms before her, but he was completely unable to do so. The influence of Radharani, pure ecstasy, is so inconceivably great that it's forced Krishna to come to his original to armed form. Prior to the Rasa dance, Lord Krishna hid himself in a grove just to have fun. When the gopis came, their eyes resembling those of deer by his sharp intelligence, he exhibited his beautiful forearms formed to hide himself. But when Srimati Radharani came there, Krishna could not maintain his forearms in her presence. This is the wonderful glory of her love. Father Nanda, the king of Brajabhumi, is now Jagannath Mishra, the father of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Mother Yasoda, the queen of Brajabhumi, is now Sachi Devi, Lord Chaitanya's mother. Sri Nityananda Prabhu always feels the ecstatic emotion of paternity, servitude, and principle. He always assists Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in that way. Sri Nityananda Prabhu overflooded the entire world by distributing transcendental loving service. No one can understand his character and activities. Srila Advaita Acharya Prabhu appeared as an incarnation of a devotee. He is in the category of Krishna, but he descended to this and to propagate devotional service. His natural emotions were always on the platform of fraternity and servitude, but the Lord sometimes treated him as his spiritual master. All the devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, headed by Srivasa Thakura, have their own emotional humors which they render service unto him. Personal associates like Gadadhara, Swarupa Damodara, Ramananda Raya, and the six Goswami, headed by Rupa Goswami, are all situated in their respective transcendental humors. Thus, the Lord submitted to various positions in various transcendental mellow. In Krishna Leela, the Lord complexion is blackish, holding a flute to his mouth. He enjoys as a cowherd boy. Now the self-same person has appeared with a fair complexion, sometimes acting as a Brahmana and sometimes accepting the renounced order of life. Therefore, the Lord himself, accepting the emotional ecstasy of the gopis, now addresses the son of Nanda Maharaja, O master of my life, O my dear husband. one cannot understand uh, contradiction in Lord Chaitanya character by putting forward mundane logic and arguments. Consequently, one should not maintain doubt in the connection. One should simply try to understand the inconceivable energy of Krishna. Therewise, one cannot understand how such contradictions are possible. The pastimes of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are inconceivable and wonderful. His ecstasy is wonderful. His qualities are wonderful and his behavior is wonderful. If one simply address to mundane arguments and therefore does not accept this, he will boil in the hell of Kumbhipaka. For him there is no deliverance. Anything transcendental to material nature is called inconceivable. Whereas arguments are all mundane, since mundane arguments cannot touch transcendental subject matters. One should not try to understand transcendental subjects through mundane arguments. Only a person who had firm faith in the wonderful pastime of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu can approach his lotus feet. In this discourse, I have explained the essence of the devotional conclusion. Anyone who hears this develops analyzed devotional service to the Lord. If I repeat what is already written, I may thus realize the purport of this scripture. We can see in the scripture Srimad Bhagavatam the conduct of its author Sri Vyasadeva. After speaking the narration, he repeats it again and again. Therefore, I shall enumerate the chapter of the Adi Leela and the first chapter I offer obeisance to the spiritual master, for this is the beginning of auspicious writing. The second chapter explains the truth of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, the son of Maharaja Nanda. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna himself, has now appeared as the son of Mother Sachi. The third chapter described the general cause of his appearance. The third chapter especially described the distribution of love of Godhead. It also described the religion of the age, which is simply to distribute the holy name of Lord Krishna and propagate the process of loving him. This fourth chapter describes the main reason for his appearance, which is to test the mellows of his own transcendental loving service and his own sweetness. The fifth chapter describes the truth of Lord Nityananda Prabhu, who is none other than Balrama, the son of Rohini. The sixth chapter considers the truth of Advaita Acharya. He is in incarnation of Mahavishnu. The seventh chapter describes the Panchatattva Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhara, and Srivasa. They all combined together to distribute love of Godhead everywhere. The eighth chapter gives the reason for describing Lord Chaitanya pastime. It also describes the greatness of Lord Krishna holy name. The ninth chapter describes the desired tree of devotional service. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself is the gardener who planted it. The 10th chapter describes the branches and sub-branches of the main trunk and the distribution of their fruits. The 11th chapter describes the branch called Sri Nityananda Prabhu. The 12th chapter describes the branch called Sri Advaita Prabhu. The 13th chapter describes the birth of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which took place with the chanting of the holy name of Krishna. The 14th chapter gives some description of the Lord. Descriptions of the Lord's childhood pastime. The 15 briefly describe the Lord's boyhood pastimes. In the 16th chapter, I have indicated the pastime of the Kaisora age, the age period to youth. In the 17th chapter, I have specifically described his youthful pastimes. Thus there are 17 varieties of subject in the first canto, which is known as the Adi Leela. 12 of these constitute the purpose of this scripture. After the chapters of the preface, I have described 5 transcendental mellow in 5 chapters. I have described them very briefly rather than expansively. By the order and strength of Sri Nityananda Prabhu, Sri Vrindavana Dasa Thakura has elaborately described in his Chaitanya Mangala all the I have not. The pastime of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are wonderful and unlimited. Even personalities like Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and Sesanaga cannot find their end. Anyone who described or hears any part of this elaborated subject will very soon receive the causeless mercy of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Hearing the author again describe the Panchatattva Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasa, and the devotee of Lord Chaitanya, I offer my respectful obeisance to all the residents of Vrindavana. I wish to place their lotus feet on my head in great humbleness. I wish to place the lotus feet of the Goswamis on my head. Their names are Sri Swarupa Damodara, Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatana Goswami, Sri Raghunatha Dasa Goswami, and Sri Jiva Goswami. Placing their lotus feet on my head, always hoping to serve them, I, Krishnadasa, narrate Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, following in their footsteps. Hari. I will conclude my talk.